The introduction of Kenner's original Star Wars action figure line changed the toy industry forever, and this groundbreaking concept was met with immense popularity in the late 70s and the first half of the 1980s, which led to this range becoming the most collectible vintage toy line around today. While the Cincinnati-based Kenner Toy Company designed and manufactured these toys in the United States, different international companies distributed these action figures in other parts of the world, such as Palatoy in the United Kingdom, Meccano in France, Glasliti in Brazil, and Toll Toys in Australia and New Zealand. But are you aware of Star Wars toys being sold in 1980 by the Chad Valley Company? You know the one, the company that also sold those give-a-show projector sets that came complete with colourful slides so that children could shine the images on a wall. Well, in today's video we're going to tell you how the Star Wars toy line almost fell under the umbrella of Chad Valley for distribution in the UK, so stay tuned.
Come with me, toy fans.
Hey toy fans, my name is Tony and welcome back to the Analog Toys YouTube channel, where we're obsessed with bringing you the true history of vintage toys and action figures. Following the global success of the first Star Wars movie and the subsequent popularity of the associated Kenner toy line, British toy company Palatoy secured the rights, under license from Kenner, to manufacture and distribute Star Wars action figures and toys in the United Kingdom.
With Star Wars, you're taking somebody else's designs and so on, but the marketing of Star Wars was far more sophisticated than Action Man, and that was the bit that, for a marketing guy, was the challenge and the excitement and the enjoyment of it.
Back in those days, every January Palatoy would show off their new products at the British Toy Fair, with their new Star Wars line first being introduced in 1978. In addition to Toy Fair, Palatoy would also create trade catalogues to promote their products. But these trade catalogues were not intended for the general public. They were instead used to entice retailers to stock Palatoy's products. These trade catalogues were large-sized glossy magazines that featured beautiful photographs of Palatoy's toy offerings, and the publications date back even further than the introduction of Action Man in 1966. Due to the fact that these catalogues were produced in far lower numbers than the smaller catalogues that came with many Palatoy products, and because they are beautiful in their own right, they have now become highly sought after collectible pieces. Another aspect that I really enjoy about Palatoy's trade catalogues is that they often show off prototype designs that are very interesting and quite different from the finished products. The 1978 Palatoy trade catalogue, for example, was the first to feature Star Wars toys, and is notable for including a couple of prototype action figure designs, as well as prototype designs for the TIE Fighter, the Landspeeder and the X-Wing. In the 1979 trade catalogue we are also shown prototype designs for several new action figures, as well as the conceptual prototype for the Imperial Troop Transporter. This catalogue was also the first time anyone outside of Palatoy would get to see the now legendary Palatoy Death Star playset. Now I'm sure you're wondering where the Chad Valley Company fits into this story, but before we discuss that we need to go back and look at the history of the company. Starting life as a printing business, the Chad Valley Company takes its name from the Chad Valley district of Birmingham, and the company first started manufacturing soft toys before World War I. Following a hiatus during the Second World War, when the company was producing goods to help the war effort, Chad Valley resumed toy production in the late 1940s and offered consumers a variety of tin plate toys. In 1952, Chad Valley also gained the sole rights to market the hugely popular glove puppet character of Sooty. However, like so many great British toy makers, Chad Valley's demise came about as the result of the deep economic recession of the early 1970s, and the brand name was eventually taken over by Palatoy in 1978. In 1979, just after acquiring the Chad Valley name, Palatoy went through a complex consolidation program. The company's management had a difficult time handling the day-to-day affairs of running Palatoy, Denny's Fisher and Chad Valley. So Denny's Fisher became a casualty of the consolidation, and the company entered 1980 with a new streamlined two-divisional structure that included Palatoy and Chad Valley. As part of this restructure, Chad Valley was given the Star Wars range to sell through its trade catalogue in 1980. But according to Jeff Maisie of Palatoy's marketing department, the sales and marketing teams were totally against the idea of giving Star Wars to Chad Valley. Not just because they didn't want Palatoy to lose the brand, but because, at the time, Chad Valley were best known for toy products that were aimed at preschool-aged children, and it would have been a poor fit for the company to handle such a highly regarded property. Despite the behind-the-scenes commotion regarding which company would sell Star Wars toys in the UK, the 1980 Chad Valley Trade Catalogue is another excellent and quite interesting publication. The catalogue features beautiful photographs of the die-cast range of Star Wars vehicles, non-action figure related toys such as the Electronic Battle Command game and the Star Wars laser gun toys, along with stunning images of the large-size action figures, as well as all of the 3 3/4 inch scaled vehicles that were available in the range in 1980. But the most interesting image in the catalogue is the photograph that depicts the new assortment of Empire Strikes Back action figures. Upon closer inspection, the figures in this photo appear to be hand-painted test shots, and to the experienced eye, you can tell that the shades of paint shown here differ to the colours used on the retail release versions of these figures. It is also very likely that this image was supplied to Palatoy by Kenner, just as they had done when the first Star Wars catalogue was produced. Hoth Han Solo and the Hoth Rebel Trooper even have white painted straps around their boots, a detail that was never included in retail products. The Bespin guard is holding what could possibly be a prototype blaster accessory, and he is standing next to Bespin Leia, who sports a gold painted trim along the neck of her costume. But the best figure in this photo is a character that I've dubbed Curious Luke. And that's because this Bespin Luke Skywalker action figure has one eyebrow raised, giving him a very intriguing appearance. You should also note the lovely paint additions on the belt buckle and lightsaber hilt, which is another detail in this photo that was absent on the retail release version. The final thing of note here is that the image has been flipped, and you can tell that by the lightsaber dangling in front of Luke's right leg. So let me correct that for you. Another interesting thing with this catalogue is that the aforementioned Give-A-Show projectors are not featured here. Despite these toys being an iconic Chad Valley product, in 1980 they were sold through the Palatoy General Sales catalogue. And swapping Star Wars toys for Give-A-Show projectors is hardly a fair trade. This catalogue also answers that age-old question of who shot first, Han or Greedo. Well, it turns out he wasn't shot at all. Obi-Wan skewered him with his lightsaber. Although Chad Valley got to show off the Star Wars range in their 1980 catalogue, their ownership of the brand lasted all but a fleeting moment. Are you proud to have worked on action there?
I am actually, yeah. I think, probably shouldn't say it now, but I'm actually prouder to have worked on Star Wars because that was a big issue. There you're talking about 60 million figures a year over Europe, and a big variety of figures, keeping tabs on all that, making sure the stocks were kept level and so on. So I'm happy to have worked on both.
Following intervention from Palatoy Sales and Marketing, the Star Wars brand was returned to Palatoy, where it would remain until 1985. But the sales team did have to use the Chad Valley catalogue when dealing with customers in 1980. And during this time, before Palatoy became Kenner Parker at the end of 1985, the company let the Chad Valley name die away. So thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to check out our top 10 countdown of the best vintage Star Wars vehicles, you can click right here. Or to check out our Toy Histories episode where we discuss the development of the entire vintage Kenner Star Wars range, you can click down here. I'm Tony from Analog Toys, may the Force be with you.